Mr. Mohit Soni, CEO, Media Entertainment Skill Council, to help us give a perspective on skill development in the gaming sector, also education, what is taken care by the ministry, and looking forward to the video game and the esports industry from here on. Thank you. May I have Mr. Mohit Soni, please?
Thank you, ma'am, first of all, for making me stand between the lunch today and the people who are hungry. I'm Mohit Soni and I am the CEO for Media Entertainment Skills Council. But before I put my remarks, I think I have to go back and rethink on the line Vijay just mentioned. Vijay was talking about Gen Z, Gen Alpha, and I was wondering which generation am I now? So I had no choice apart from going to my friend Google and Vijay just check. I found I was from Generation X. Guys, it makes me really feel old. Okay, so from the skilling side, I think one thing which I can really talk about is going back of the time when I used to be a kid and more like a teenager. I remember playing Mario and Contra, and I don't know how many of you are from my age who would have played Mario and Contra by paying 2 rupees to a cyber world guys and making up 1 hour or half an hour of playing Mario and Contra. And you know, from that time, then later we were lucky to get a black and white Nokia phone in our hands. We started playing Snake, Tetris, and now I think there is so much to talk about that it's unimaginable. See, only challenge which I see today in our country is from the perspective of people who are the best generation in the world, who are the most creative guys in the world, not able to capitalize on what we belong on, where we belong to. Why I'm saying this? Today, India is the country which produces 1800 to 2000 films in a year, correct? Do you all agree with me? Yeah, we are the largest film producers in the world. Can you tell me names or can you think of names of 20 filmmaking institutions in the country? If you belong to this industry, I am sure it will be difficult for you to even name out 20 good filmmaking institutions in the country today. Even when we don't have 20 filmmaking good institutions in the country, we are doing 1800, 2000 films. And trust me, when I count on those numbers, we have more than 786 training institutions in the country right now. Why I said 786? It is considered to be an auspicious number. So I say 786 plus training institutions in the country who are teaching animation, gaming and visual effects. Does that not sound crazy? We are the largest manufacturers of films and we are the, sorry to say, but the lowest in the category of making AAA games. So I feel today, while you know these conversations and these panels, you will gain a lot of insight. I'm not a techie guy. I have been a graphic designer, but not a gamer because to my age there was nothing called gaming. All I knew was Macromedia Flash, on which we used to make some small bits of animation. But the world is changing, and you know what I really feel is today we need not just training institutions to come in and start setting up something which can be class apart, create entrepreneurs rather than employees. There are a lot of studios which we all know of who have been making AAA games in the country. They have been doing phenomenal stuff. Similarly, we know a lot of studios who have been doing animation and VFX in the country. But you know, my appeal is that if in the skilling ecosystem we want something to happen, it has to be a combined effort. It has to be an effort where the training institutions and the industry have to work closer. I don't know how many of you sitting here are students. Can you raise up your hands? Are you all pursuing something in media and entertainment division? Is it true, or game development? What about here? Animation VFX. Which institution are you from? AAFT, Marva Studios. Arena Animation. Amazing. So my only view here is that, you know, when we are talking about this vast space of skilling, there are a lot of developments which have already happened in the country. We have been working along with a lot of studios to establish course, curriculum, qualifications, which can bring you a national value. But as such, the need for bringing the IP creation to the country is a big challenge right now. And I see that if most of our studios today can work along, set up small incubations, accelerator program, which from the ministry side we are doing. See, we are already running a lot of schemes under the government, which may be Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana or other state schemes, which are there to fund the candidates who are interested in undertaking any skilling program. But I think the challenge is in terms of making them realize that they could create the IP for the country. And I know there is a lot of cost which goes in making a AAA game, but be rest assured, I think there are a lot of investors who are sitting out and waiting. People fund in for movies even if there are 10% chances of it being success. So from the skilling perspective, I feel that there is a demand which certainly is there from the industry, but to fulfill that demand, we need a lot of the industry partners to come in and join with us. As a council, we'll be more than happy to see that if we could collaborate with you guys, develop some small modules, take it to the schooling system, take it to the higher education system, and then gradually grow up the ladder. But all we need right now is that we are able to create an ecosystem which can not just work as a service industry, but also create something which can be our own. We have a lot of stories to talk, we have a lot of stories to showcase. I think it's you guys who are there now working as game developers, game designers who have to take up the next league. See, today media and entertainment is cutting through anything and everything. But still when I go to training institutions and I talk to students who are taking up an animation program, I ask them, what do you want to do? They say, we want to make an animation film. Similarly, when I went to some gaming institutions, I asked them, what do you want to do? They said, we want to make a game. Now, trust me, making an animation film or a game is certainly a big concept. It needs a lot of effort, it needs a lot of practice, certainly there. But for everything and anything today, I feel there is a big requirement which is cross-cutting the media and entertainment sector. If I have to go tomorrow and buy a Harley Davidson, positive, if it's not there in the showroom, trust me, I could go through a VR and feel it. If I want to buy a flat which has never been built up, I could go in and see it in a VR. That's a known fact. Gaming, the biggest plus point is it's interactive. And I think this is where we need to now start opening our avenues for students as well as the industry to realize that when we do something of this sort, whether it is in animation or whether it is in gaming, it can have a multifaceted approach. Games could also be from the medical science perspective, something which can teach surgery to a doctor. It can be from an automobile design perspective where you can assemble and create a new car, a new model. I think there's a wider scope which we have not yet thought of, which we have not yet really considered. And the biggest challenge which I see is in terms of merchandising, which we have not been able to pull in so far in our country. So from my side, all I could say is, because most of you are veterans in this industry or going through with a program in this sector, all I could say is, guys, there's a lot to be done, there's a lot to be thought of. And only thing which can really make a difference is that if we all combine our efforts together and put it to the right place. As a council, we'll try to create that platform for you. We already work with a lot of institutions, industries and universities and colleges. But my request is that come down and, create an ecosystem with us where we can develop a lot of trainers. We can go to states. You all know AVGC policy is out, and the states are also working on it. So almost all the states are right now drafting up the AVGC policy. We have finalized with 7-8 states. We are going along with other states as well. So every state would like to establish a center of excellence. They're talking about setting up a big incubation facility, a big accelerator program. I think this is high time when the industry has to come forward and start putting across their challenges, not in terms of GSTs and other areas, but also in terms of skilling. Because if you don't get the right crop on the ground, trust me, whatever the funding you have, things will not take off. So wherever you belong to, whichever the state you belong to, please try to see if you can contribute towards the gaming policy or the AVGC policy of that state. We will be happy to broadcast all those details to you. help us in establishing those centers of excellence, help us in preparing the trainers for tomorrow, and give us the opportunity to enlighten these kids who are taking up the program by making them understand that what they do today will benefit them over a long run. We have also created a program called MeCAT. This is Media Entertainment Creative Aptitude Test. This can actually give you a deep dive insight to understand what your true areas are. So from that perspective of somebody who wants to enter this industry, and from the perspective who wants to self-analyze themselves and see where they really fit in, I think MeCAT could be a good point for them to look at. While there are several schemes of the government, as I told to you, we can, if the students are interested, if the industry is interested, to open up those avenues with us, whether it is in terms of upskilling programs, whether it is in terms of apprenticeship programs. I think there's a lot of foray which the skills ministry is offering at this point of time, and we'll be more than happy to collaborate and see how we can churn out those things. But trust me, it's always amazing to be here. I don't have much to speak. I would have carried a presentation and bored you for 30 minutes, but I really didn't want to do that as I'm between you and your lunch. So guys, have a great lunch, but give it a simple thought of what we are doing today and where we want to be tomorrow. I think journey is not over. We have not yet started. Only responsibility which we all should carry on our shoulders while we go back is that we make India the country which can not just be a service industry, but a country which can proudly go out and showcase what talent and what stories we have. I think the moment we are able to take it to the AVGC, we have already shown it in the Hindi, in the Telugu, in the Tamil, in the Gujarati, in the Marathi cinema. I think now it's high time when the AVGC sector has to come out and showcase that it's not about service. We Indians are not merely going to work on the international clients, but we will create something which can make international clients develop for us in terms of buying our content and working on our content. With such a rich country, with such a diverse population, I see that happening. Only thing is that everybody has to benchmark it, and these panels should not be just a panel to discuss. I think next time when we come to you, we will come out with some solid programs which we can offer to you. We have those on our website, but I have not carried them. Go through with the website of Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. Go through with the website of MESC India. You will find foray of courses which we offer. A lot of training material which is there, but it has all to be taken up together. So that's all I have from my side, guys. I'll be more than happy to take this journey forward, and I'll be more than happy to connect with each and any one of you. The website URL is mescindia.org. I may look like a sales guy, but trust me, this can benefit all of you and all of us. So please scroll through with the website if you get time, and if you find it relevant and if you find it exciting, please try to connect back. Thank you for having me here. Thank you, ma'am.